You okay? You've been a bit grumpus. Do you want to go outside? You can go out if you want. There you go. Nope. Probably better if I do it like that. Yeah. Oh, bloody hell. Hello. How's it going? I'm up late, Mum. There you go. Oh, you're at the skip. How's it going? How are you? How is everyone today? You guys just missed Jess. Like, she came in, but she was a bit of a grumpus, like, so she ended up leaving. It is a habit. Oh, my days. I know, I know. Well, you know, there's only so much she can do in here, really. She she'll chill next to the sloth for a bit, but ultimately, yeah, she gets a bit tired and that. So I thought she might stick around, but no, she's gonna go lie down in a multitude of places. So there we go. Fucking hell, horse ass. Because I've done that because I did that Eugenia video earlier. Like, you know, 'cause I ramble so much and then I cut it all down. I've been talking a lot, so if my voice is a bit hoarse, then I do apologize. I get it. My pup is in my recording space with me at the moment, taking a nap. Oh, so it's good to have someone around to listen, and it's she was pretty naughty today. Actually, she went out for a walk earlier, and she came across another smaller cockapoo, and she might look cute and everything, but she gets pretty savage. We should have called her Nasha. She goes, "Argh!" She goes all crazy. She never like bites, but if there's a dog that's smaller than her and she feels that she can muscle it around somewhat, then yeah, she's gonna basically is what happens. But quiet and needing a drink. It's yeah, what I don't know. I just feel like I've swallowed a cactus or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah. I was a bit worried about I don't know. The Eugenia video is probably the most stressed out I've ever been doing a video just because there are so many sinkholes with that. Because I obviously never want it to seem like I'm having a go at someone's mental health or anything of that nature. But it's one of those things where it has impacted on her community and she's responsible for said community at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, no apologies required. Mine was too. She was left home for a bit and got destructive. It's in the air, apparently. I think so. I think it's a Monday, isn't it? No, it's Tuesday now, but yeah, it was a Monday. My toy schnauzer thinks she's a T-Rex. All the small ones do. I used to have a standard poodle, Molly, and we had her for 14 years, black standard poodle, and she would just. She was the most chilled out dog ever, unless there was a squirrel in the garden. Then she would go ape shit. Then basically, but with Jess, she thinks she's 10 feet tall, and she thinks she's fully human too. So it's just one of those things. It's I don't know what it is. It's the smaller they are. It's like short man syndrome. When I used to go out into town when I was, when I was younger, and I used to go out, more than I do now. I mean, I definitely don't now, but yeah, I remember at least 2 or 3 times because I'm 6'1". I got started on by at least 2 or 3 times just by guys thinking that me being taller was getting one over on them for some reason. I remember them saying, "Oh, you look at you up there, thinking you're all that." I'm like, I didn't plan this, man. I mean, I don't know what to say to you, but I mean, because I live in Wales, there are a lot of short people here in general. So I think maybe that's what it is. It's short man syndrome. It exists. One of those simmer down child moments. Well, yeah, pat on the head. They're there. They're there. No, fuck off. you know, it's just one of those things. Napoleon complexes. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. I don't know what it is. The taller they are, because I've met people who've got like Irish wolfhounds and stuff like that. Totally relaxed, totally chilled. Great Danes can be a bit like, "Hi there, I'm a great big Great Dane. I'm a bit silly," you know. But the little dogs are, yeah, they think they're all that, don't they? And let's be fair, when you look like Jess, and she definitely knows that she looks cute. I don't know how she knows, but she definitely knows, probably through the amount of attention that she receives. Yeah, she fully knows it, and she hates having her photo taken. That's the other thing. I think she thinks that the camera is trying to take her soul. Like it's one of those ones. Those dogs are awesome. Great Danes are hilarious. They are. They're fantastic. Um, the only thing with the bigger the dog, the shorter they're around 4, isn't it? So it's a bit, yeah, it's a catch 22. Um, Molly, like I said, the standard poodle, she was a big dog, and kids didn't come up our driveway for Halloween, like for sure, because of that. She just had that like a proper dog bark. She was like a loyal hound. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, yeah, Jess is funny. Like, if the door goes, she doesn't move an inch. But if you go to hug each other in the house, she's not fucking having any of it, none of it whatsoever. My dog has adopted a habit. Yeah, I might not be able to read. Who knows? My dog has adopted a habit of getting up and sitting herself on your shoulder. It's like, excuse me, ma'am. Yeah, Jess will do that behind my dad. So like, when you sat on the sofa, it comes up to here, and she'll just like. I think I've put up pictures of it on YouTube, not YouTube, on Twitter before. But yeah, she just goes right over. Actually, I'll see if I can, because it is pretty funny to be fair. Um, but yeah, it was one of those things that with the Eugenia video, I was just hoping I came across like I wasn't having a go at her. I very clearly said it a few times, and that's another thing as well because I never do shitty thumbnails. I never try to, where like you get YouTubers who have those thumbnails where they've sort of caught. They pick a picture where like the guy's getting out of their car or something like that, when they're like this, and they put that as it, and obviously it drums up more attention. But I don't know. I think that's pretty grim, to be honest. But with her, the pictures that weren't so, say, graphic in terms of showing off the well, let's just call it what it is. It's anorexia at the end of the day, isn't it? They well, they're few and far between, for you to actually get off Google, and unless they're like proper old, and she doesn't look like that anymore. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I say, it was a prickly pear. It was a prickly fucking pear to navigate around, but hopefully I did it all right. I'm hoping. I'm just waiting for the Eugenia hate. It's just I know it's coming. Like for my Dolan twins, I've never received like super hate off anyone. However, with the Dolan twins one, I wrote noticed that I got some weird fanatics coming out of the woodwork for that. There was this one I didn't realize that YouTube actually puts comments that are deemed to, I don't know, outrageous over to one side. Until I found one day, and I swear it was like I was reading this comment. I was like, "Fucking hell, kiss your mother with that mouth, Jesus Christ! You can only be 12 or 14 as well. I can't believe you're talking to me like this. This is outrageous." Um, yeah, so you, it's not the best. Obviously, I'll post it on Twitter, but yeah, she. I like the way she's got a paw on his shoulder, like they're there. I'm here now. It's hard. It's a hard discussion, and I think you did okay. It's okay. I'm preparing for hate this week myself. I know it's coming. That's the funny thing. When you post these videos, there's some that you just know. Like it doesn't matter how how many times you say, or be the nicest about it as you possibly can. Cool, Skip. No worries. As you possibly can. That it just someone's gonna hate it, and that's something that you're gonna have to. Oh, you're right there, Lily V. How's it going? Um, it won't even be my video that'll do it. Oh well, what's gonna bring you hate then, Beauty Heathen? I want to know. I want to know. Oh, there's isn't that one? Are you talking about that woman who sort of copied your shit? I can't remember her name. Um, Yeah, I can't remember her name. I don't care about her, but in any other context apart from she fucked with you. But just be ready when Sire uploads this week. Oh no, I'm aware. I'm aware of what's going down there. 100%. It's that entire group, man. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is wrong with that little sect? There's a reason why there's certain people within that drama community that I just don't fuck with at all. Hey, you right there, AM Young Project? How's it going? Yeah, I think this is the first time you've been on one of my, well, it was only the second stream, so I can't really say that, can I? More people watch her channel than mine. Yeah, but I've I did check out hers just to see, and yeah, I found her pretty irritating. That's my opinion, but I'm like, yeah, I have a ton of people blocked. Yeah, I've never blocked a single person. That's the hilarious thing. I don't think I have anyway. I may have blocked one, but yeah, it's just it's pretty funny. Missed the first stream, unfortunately. It was just me talking shit, just me talking out my ass more than likely. So you didn't miss much. Probably very similar to what I'm gonna do here. But yeah, it's yeah, with that situation, I think it's pretty out of order. It's pretty blatant as well with that person just copying yours but putting a bit of a wacky take on everything. It's just I don't know. For my sanity, get ready, lol. The day will likely to come. No doubt, no doubt. I've got no doubt at some point I'm going to come across some maniacs. And sometimes there's just people who are just really into their thing. It's just and you sort of you have like neckbeardy types. I like to call them. So when I was in school, don't want to know how many accounts I have blocked. It seems like everyone's got a ton of people blocked apart from me. Um, that block button is a handy tool. I'll start using it. I'm just going to start randomly blocking people now. Even if someone's like, "Hey, how's it going?" Block. Just to see. Why not? Why the fuck not? Um, but yeah, like you get some people who are like really fanatically into something, but it comes across in quite like an unhealthy way just by how into it they are. Um, yeah, it's weird. I don't know where I was going with that. I started reading comments and then I just yeah, I went off kilter. But yeah, I'm just gonna start blocking whoever the fuck even approaches me now on Twitter. Hi, gone. It's all right. See you later. But yeah, I saw what was pretty funny on Twitter because I had a little look just to see, make sure I had something to actually talk about because I just fancied talking out my ass for a bit as opposed to navigating around a prickly subject like the Eugenia subject. But I noticed that Trisha and it's H3. I forgot his name then for a second. Are doing a podcast, and it's like, could you be any more? I'm sounding like Chandler. Can you be any more transparent? Like, it's just so fucking funny that like they think that what those guys do isn't like so transparent. So oh, here we go. So far, I've only blocked people asking me for money. People just randomly ask you for money. That's bizarre. One wanted me to get a credit card and get what? Give and not lend her money. I don't have a channel or post much, so fuck right off. I think is probably what you should have told them if you didn't. Oh my life, I couldn't even. Sort of the balls on some people is sometimes hard to fathom, really, isn't it? Just like, hey, you right there? I don't know you. I don't know you from like at all. But could you get out a credit card and just give me money? How about you kiss my ass? How about you fuck all the way off? Like, it's bizarre. Beauty heathen, the block button is your best friend, to be honest. You guys can hear me, right? Um, to be honest, I'm always paranoid that people can't hear me on this. I don't know why. Most blocked accounts are turfs. I've heard that phrase, but I can't remember what that is. Agreed. Yes, people do that. People do. That is wild. Someone just randomly asked me to take out a credit card in their name. I've never met them, and it was over Twitter. I'd be like, "Fuck right off, dude!" All the way home, like, indeed, lol. Here, fine, sweet, cool. Yeah, we can hear you. Hey, fellow fangirl, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. I've blocked those anyone I see being an asshole. An asshole. That was being a bit of an asshole there. To people for no reason. I can hear you. Cool. Trans exclusionary feminist. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You know, people are nuts. Yep. Yep. Just about. I almost want every video I do on YouTube, I just want to sort of sum it up like that. People are fucking weird. Like, like with the Tanner thing, I just want, yeah, I would want to just do a video like just 10 seconds, just going, some people are twats. Like, and that's it, basically. Yes. Great, good to see you too. Cool. It's just yeah, we're just basically talking about how people are twats. So it's join on in because there's a lot of them out there, I'm sure. Make you a new leader. People are selfish. Don't trust anyone. Hi, I'm the sarcastic sloth, and welcome to my channel. That's a bit cynical. I would have to be the cynical sloth then, wouldn't I? It would it would be pretty, yeah, pretty cynical. I feel like my videos are getting a bit cynical at the moment anyway, so I need to. I feel that's something to do with quarantine as well. Um, yeah, I think it's definitely starting to sort of fuck with me a bit. Not in like a major, like a hellish way, but I can definitely tell that my mood is decreasing somewhat. Like I haven't got the same get up and go. I haven't got the same oomph. As I used to have this nurse, and she would say, like, if you weren't yourself, she'd be like, you lost your sparkle. And yeah, I feel a bit like that, to be honest, at the moment. Um, great, good to see you too. Oh no, I read that out already. On tonight's episode of Some People Are Twats, we're featuring every every well-known YouTuber you could possibly think of. Nah, they're not all that bad, but it seems like that's a particular era of YouTubers certainly are. Sounds fun. Yeah, you know, we we keep it real here. Just found your channel and I am loving your content. Oh, cheers, Harmony. Thank you. I haven't seen you around before, but you are welcome. Yeah, so I get weird when people pay me compliments. So yeah, cheers. um, it's hard not to have those nights. I have them myself. You're definitely not alone. Yeah, it's gone on a bit, and I haven't been back to work the entire fucking time. So, in fact, actually, I think on my last live stream, I mentioned that I was going to go back to work, and it turned out that I got skunked by that place in general. They basically promised me something that they can't deliver on. And, in general, I'm not going back there, so I wouldn't have talked like this before because, you can't really do that. But fuck them, basically. I thought that they were. I was going to go back to work properly, and that is not the case. And it's not the first time they fucked me over, and I can't go back, but they're advertising a job that does way less than I did. I was a groundskeeper, for those of you that don't know. Um, it was sort of like the job that I seen advertised was for fucking far more money than I was getting. And it's not all about money, but it is, you know, there's got to be a portion of life where it is. And I never got anywhere near that. And I did fucking bent over backwards for these people. I worked at like my boss's houses when that wasn't really part of my job either. Gutted their mum's house before the building work started, doing carpentry work and all sorts of stuff. So that wasn't part of. Now I'm just bitching, which is not good. But yeah, I sort of just had to fucking get it off my chest, really, because quite frankly, you know, when you give years off to this someplace and they skunk you behind your back and they don't have the minerals to actually say anything to your face. I still haven't had a call back, but I know that I'm not going back there again. So fuck them, basically. Yeah. So there's my rant. Harmony's gone, well, I'm not checking this fucking dude out anymore. This cynical motherfucker. But yeah, I'm that really pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. I think 2020 has made everyone a bit meh. Yeah, certainly so. Certainly so. Cynicism is my second name right now. Yeah, it's my first, second, middle. I don't have a middle name, but you know, it's all of them. Agreed. We need to get you monetized, sir. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I'm a fair way off from that. So, yeah. 2020 is not a vibe. It's not a fucking vibe, is it? It's the worst of vibes. It's yeah, it's not good. Fellow fangirl, ain't that the truth? Yeah, certainly. Shit, that's awful to hear. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. There's people out there, you know, I'm in a particularly decent situation where, you know, I moved in with my folks when all of this started off. You know, I had to move back in for a bunch of reasons I'm not going to go into, but you know, it's unfortunate that I wasn't left out on the doorstep, so to speak. They fired me before they had to give the was it the furlough payments? You know, I'd been there for years, and it was just yeah. You just see where you are on that totem pole. It's a bit shit, really. Yeah, but it is what it is. And like I say, there are people out there who who've got it really fucking bad. So, you know, everyone's allowed to talk about their problems. I'm not going to diminish anyone's issues or anything of that nature because that's certainly not my way. But, you know, I don't feel like I can complain too much, even though I am. So there's that. Sends karma their way. Yeah. Yeah. You have every right to complain, let it out. All right then, fuck everyone. No, you're sending good vibes, dude. Thank you, thank you. You know, it means a lot when you know you are getting nice things said and everything. Like I said, I'm not good with compliments and shit. So I'm Catholic. I have special connections to the beyond. Want me to sort it out? All right. I believe you, so I'm gonna say no because that's some pretty heavy shit, man. I don't need that on my conscience. I have my hours. Just need the subs. Yeah, you've got fuckloads of hours, haven't you? So yeah, some if you haven't subscribed to Beauty Heathen for some crazy reason, go and subscribe to her now because otherwise I'm gonna get a young project to send some of her Catholic special connections your way. Oh dear me. Okay, yep, sending a bit of justice their way because that's BS. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, me though. Everyone has their own problems and can only deal with their own problems. Fucking hell. Do I sound like just gravel mouth man? Oh, that's ridiculous. I can only deal with their problems. We can't deal with other people's problems. Well, that's true. Ain't that the truth? Also, Beauty Heathen, you mean you weren't subbed already? We need to have words. Jesus Christ. Dork. That is such an American fucking diss as well. Dork, man. Oh my days. I haven't heard that since the 90s. In comics. Just drink the water. No one's going to bitch over you taking a sip. And so they shouldn't. And so they shouldn't. You got to stay hydrated at the end of the day. But yeah, what does everyone? Whoa, an ant! Here she is, or he is. I actually don't know. I was going to say, you made it. You did make it, and thank you for making it. Yeah, I was going to say just then. Did anyone else see that madness that Trisha and H3 are doing a podcast together? Like, I say madness, it's predictable, but I think it's. I'm so sorry. And so you should be. And so you should be. It's cool. I checked out your Twitter, actually. You've got some really cool stuff on there. So if anyone's not following Lily V and her art page, then certainly do so, because us out. Come help us cheer up. All right, so right, you're putting out that I need hugs and that we need to cheer up. Everyone's going to think that I've just got a somber YouTube channel. It's Beauty Heathen. Oh my days. Wait, what? Wait, what? I don't understand. Thank you. I got a channel too. I've got a channel too. Well, I didn't know you had a channel. Let's have a look now. We're live as. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just gonna subscribe now. I'll watch afterwards, because it would be rude if you just watch me watch something. I know that used to be the big thing on YouTube. You just watch my reactions to shit, but I couldn't in good conscience do that. There we go. Boom. Go subscribe, everyone in here. Or pain of AM Young Projects Catholic connections to the beyond. Wait, what? Trisha and H3 doing a podcast? Yeah, I don't know if it's like if it's like they're doing like a constant podcast from now on, but they're certainly doing another podcast, which I haven't listened to H. I haven't found that guy funny in the longest time. I really can't think. The only time I actually will watch him, I'll go back to you in a sec there, Wu and Ann. The only time I can, because otherwise I'll lose my train of thought, as you can tell, I'm pretty poor with that. The only time I can actually stomach him is when he's on comedians' podcasts. So like Tiger Belly, or he's with your mum's house or your mom's house, or however you're saying it. Yeah, I just find that like his videos used to be good. I used to enjoy his videos. But I think he was doing 3-hour podcasts, and as much as I don't watch Joe Rogan anymore, just because it sort of became like, I'm not right, but I am right, really. It was one of those things where I was just like, you can't keep this going for 3 hours, man. I mean, imagine me talking for 3 hours, it would be ridiculous. Like, it's just, there's sometimes you just don't have it in you. I've always thought that he would make a really good comedy writer if he didn't just splurge all of his ideas onto the podcast and the YouTube channel in general. But he's entitled to do what he wants, obviously. But yeah, I don't fucking watch him. So him and Trisha doesn't really strike me as something, because he obviously thinks that he's much smarter than her. And as much as I don't like Trisha, like how she interacts with people, she's not as dumb as she portrays as well. I'm not saying that she's a genius, but you don't get as successful as she does and maintain it. That's the big thing. You can get successful by doing crazy shit, but then maintaining that for X amount of time, you got to have a couple of brain cells rubbing together there. I didn't get your art done. Sorry about that. Don't be sorry. Like I didn't commission you. It's fine. I'm actually working on it right now. Cool. I ended up having to take extra hours because we hired 3 people. Literally, 2 of them flaked out. Oh well, at the end of the day, like I said, I didn't commission you. It's a nice thing for you to do that in the first place, quite frankly. So that's really cool. It's really fucking annoying that 2 people flaked out, especially when everyone's like sort of clawing for jobs right now, and like some people would eat their own fucking like their own hand just to have a job. It's just crazy. They'll be trolling each other, I'm sure. That's all it's going to be. Like, it's all it's going to be. And it's not even like that's particularly entertaining anymore. Like, maybe the first time they did a podcast, it was a bit like, whoa, what's going on here? This is a bit wacky. But yeah, I'm a Brit. I've only got so much stomach for wackiness. I remember when I found Trisha's channel, excuse me, like about a decade ago or something, a long time ago. Don't remember how long, but you get my point. Yeah, so she's been around for time. Like it's just, and she's one of those ones who I think that she's been so controversial the entire time. She ain't going anywhere anytime soon. However, the ones who sort of were controversial then try to paint themselves as little angel faced people like Shane Dawson, because I love that guy so much. He's a twat. Yeah, I think it's much harder for people to. It was much harder for people to stomach, and then they have a much more aggressive way of reacting to it. At the end of the day, yeah, it's again, if you've watched my videos like on Shane Dawson, and you know that I don't. There's no love lost there. I saw through his shit a long time ago. Trisha is an OG troll, and that requires brains. It's true. It has to an extent. It's one of the things I'm not touching that stuff with. I don't like with Gabby Hanna. The thing with her is so transparent. So all she does, right? So whenever she's got something to hawk, when she's got something to sell, she creates some kind of drama out of nowhere, and then everyone's like, "Whoa, what's going on with her, man? Like, she's crazy. This is like, oh, this is wild." And every fucking time, it always comes about, and then it's she's got a book or she's got a song or she's got something to flog, and it just never. And then as soon as that died down, as soon as she's got her views, she fucks off for a bit. I mean, taking some time to think about my mental state and all of this, and then she comes back with a vengeance, and now she's doing a song about Trisha. I haven't listened to it. I don't give a fuck. Literally, she what's that movie where is it you see is it like you see the bogeyman? Oh shit. What's the monster movie where you say it 3 times and then it appears? Do you know what I mean? If you know it out there, then put it up here. There's probably got to be some people who are into horror movies on here at some point or another, but I'm trying to remember what the fuck that movie's called. It's driving me mad. I hate that. I hate it when I can't remember something. Bloody Mary. Is it Bloody Mary? I think it might be Bloody Mary. Whoa, whoa, you guys moving fast, man. Yep, which is why it's best to ignore her. Yep, absolutely doing that. I'll never do a video on her. Never. Um, he had me fooled too. It's okay. Oh, what? Shane. Oh no, he's just. The thing is, right? I came into the whole YouTuber thing. I've used YouTube for years, but I didn't really know what YouTubers were. Like, that they were massive or anything like this up until maybe about 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, maybe. So I sort of came into it late, so I didn't see his rise. I actually saw him on a H3 podcast, and I decided not to watch it because I found him pretty boring, to be honest. So, and then the little things came out, and then I watched this documentary series, and I thought, well, all he does is sort of just go around the place looking shocked and talking about Chuck E. Cheese. Who gives a fuck about Chuck E. Cheese, man? No one cares about Chuck E. Cheese. Candyman! I just saw that up there. It's Candyman. I was thinking, Bloody Mary wasn't it? Oh, Beetlejuice is another one, but the one I was thinking of was Candyman. Yes, Stripe. Yes, that was driving me fucking simple. Oh, it's just right in the middle of a thought. But anyway, yeah, I've always thought he was pretty boring anyway. And when he was like going around labeling everyone, like you know, Jake Paul's a sociopath, and you know, I've mentioned it before. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is he to tell anyone what they are and whatever else? Never was a fan of Shane's videos. Go on, LEV. Everyone's trying to guess what the movie was, but yeah, it was Candyman. Um, Young Project, yeah, you had it too. Uh, yes, you say her name in a mirror 3 times and she comes for you. I love Candyman. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely Candyman that I thought of. I saw him when he still had a girlfriend before he came out. The one and only time I watched his vids. Yeah, I don't even remember that era, to be fair. But yeah, you know, I just find him quite snaky, really. I find him pretty much exactly the same, but in just he's like, well, as the yin and the yang with him and Jeffree Star, I believe. I think they're both two sides of the same coin. They just attack things from a different perspective. Jeffree doesn't give a fuck who likes him, and you know, it sort of plays on the whole villain status. And Shane actually does care, you know, or at least pretends to. Who knows? Uh, really want to watch the original. Oh, what, the original Candyman? I didn't like it. Didn't like them, so didn't check them later. Nah, I've always found his stuff over like underwhelming. I was interested just in terms of when I watched the ones that he did on the beauty industry, but it wasn't. It was just brown nosing Jeffree Star the entire time. So, and then he started going on about how he hates drama. It's like, why are you doing? Why are you even bothering with Jeffree Star? Then he is drama. He is a drama magnet. Like Shane was a wreck for so long. I just couldn't believe it took so long for people to realize how yikes it was on his channel. Yeah, I'll tell you this for free. If I was watching him from, you know, the days of blackface, then I would remember that. I find it funny, actually, saying this, that people are all of a sudden like, you know, that had to be a huge portion of fans who did see that. And then I reckon a lot of them just denied that they did when the whole Carmageddon thing came out. And obviously his, you know, chickens came home to roost. There's people who would have forgotten about it because, you know, they're not going to keep up with absolutely everything that he does. But I think there was a huge portion that was like, oh, yeah, we didn't see that. If we did, we would have said something. You know, it just, come on, man, don't lie. Lily same. I even subscribed to Shane during that era. Yikes on me. He had a lot of people fooled at the end of the day. You can't really. Oh, here she is, Sire. Are you right there? Um, you can't hold that on yourself there, Young Project. Um, Woe and Ant definitely should give the original a watch. Candyman, are we talking about? I'm assuming. Yes, everyone's saying hello to Sire. Um, yeah, you know, you can't. If you were fooled by him, then you can't really hold that against yourself because he fooled a lot of people at the end of the day. Is it like it, that was his gimmick, I guess, at one point? Yes, Shelby, how's it going, man? But yeah, it's yeah. I loved as well how everyone blew up in out of proportion that it was like, oh, Shane's coming back to YouTube, and he was sort of just in Ryland's video that had been taken a while ago, and everyone shat their pants. And I think maybe they did that as a way to gauge just what the reaction would be, because enough time has passed, maybe in their eyes, to see whether or not he can make some kind of comeback. And I think he's definitely going to. I mean, there's no way that he's not going to. You know, it like it is his personality at this point. It is synonymous with him. If you think of Shane Dawson, what do you think of? You think of YouTube at the end of the day. And he's going to come back and he's going to do a load of wanky fucking documentary, like just 40-minute videos that go on about how he's changed and he's not that person anymore. And then he's going to use this platform to help everyone. It's just, you know, it's pathetic. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, beauty heathen those. Absolutely. I'm okay, still at work. How are you? Oh, right, yeah, talking talk between yourselves. I used to think of YouTube when I thought of him. Now some harsher thoughts. Well, yeah, and rightly so. It's just, yeah, it's like I say, I don't have. What's if you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say it at all. But I'm gonna. It's. I just think that he's a snake, man. He's an absolute snake, and he thought by aligning himself uh, with Jeffree Star that he would become how do you say, impervious to any of this. But it's not because he obviously cares a lot more than what people think than Jeffree does. Jeffree doesn't give a shit. Like as long as he gets your money and the attention, that's all he really cares about in my estimation of things. I spoke about this on my live last night on my channel. I didn't know you had a live last night. I didn't see that. Oh, it might have been asleep though. It is late here, so same as Tanner. I'm going to use my platform for the better. You know it. You know it, Will and Ant. It's just, they all do it. Like, I reckon they've all got the same guy writing their shit out for them. I 100% think that, man. Or at least they have, like, it's almost like, when, like, like in school, when like half the class is caught out for like cheating, and it's like they all just copied off the same kid. It's like, what do you think? Like, you think that's not going to be noticed? It's just ridiculous. Um, I have to piss off for a bit to record for tomorrow. If you're still alive when I'm done, I'll come back. If not, have a great night, y'all. No, you have a good one. Have a good recording sesh, and yeah, hope it all works out. Hope you're able to upload a bit quicker than usual. I'm taking the piss. A predator aligned himself with a racist. Shocking. I know, right? Isn't that mad? Isn't that mad? Isn't that crazy? Oh, who'd have thought that these dark characters would like just find themselves in the shadows? Who'd have thought? Jesus Christ. Shane's first video after coming back, the dark truth about myself, 1 of 15. Too right, man. Too right. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Oh, so true. Jesus Christ, I get so hoarse doing these things. I should just have like a straw, just one of those like flexible straws and like a water pouch by ear. I can see it now. We all can, and that's the sad thing about it is, it's predictable. It's predictable, and it's one of those things where there's a certain section of people who are like, well, if you can't come back and you can't make amends, then what are we doing here? If people can't make amends for the things that they've done, even people who commit crimes, they go to jail, and that's supposed to make things better in the eyes of the law anyway. But I don't see why with him there was just too many things, really. There was just absolutely too many things. It's weird. I'm sort of thinking this through at the same time when I'm talking, so if I go quiet at any point, then I do apologize. But it's just bizarre to me that like I said, I don't think I'm ever getting monetized just because like I've slagged off YouTube too many times in in my videos. I love YouTube, but I just don't get why it's cool for them to like endorse these random things like family channels where they definitely abuse their kids by taking beds away and shit like this. And Shane Dawson blackfacing N-words, like no one's business. Tanner on trending whenever she does something. It's just these people are pretty, well, they're fucking despicable in my estimation. I'm trying to be political in my answer, but I just don't really care anymore. It's just with these people, I just feel that they, they've had they've tried their luck, they've tried their hand, they didn't play it well. Sorry, ta-ra, see you later. It's just, you had your chance. It's not cool. Let's read some more of these before I just slag off literally everyone on YouTube that I wouldn't. But let's see now. Get a beer hat. It's not a bad idea. Um, Shane should make a documentary about himself. I could totally see it. Yeah, we've been saying that. It's just he's definitely going to. You know, if I endorsed gambling in any way, shape, or form, then I'd be like, hey, let's all just put some money in on it right now. But the thing, you know, it's definitely going to happen. So there's no real jeopardy there, I don't think, anyway. Um, the only real person that I've noticed from that sort of crew who truly doesn't really have anything come back on him, even after an FBI raid, is Jake Paul. And I think it's just because he truly doesn't give a shit, like at all. No shits whatsoever. You know, he can just do whatever the hell he wants, and he does at will. You know, it's just you know, I guess on one one level, hey Christine, how's it going? On one level, if you put that sort of attitude of not caring what people will think into a different vessel that isn't Jake Paul and was trying to do things for good, then it would be an amazing attitude to have. But because he's just so self-absorbed and all the way up his own ass, um, and surrounding himself with sycophants, that's the other thing with these guys is they just surround themselves. It's fresh in my head because I've mentioned it a bunch in my Eugenia video, but they just surround themselves with just so many sycophants, and then they wonder why their vision of the world or why people's view of them gets skewed. It's because when you're, I've said it before and I'll say it again, when everyone around you is smelling your farts and telling you it's perfume, you're going to start thinking you're pretty bloody amazing, aren't you? At the end of the day, it's yeah, it's a fucking shame, man. And you know, to sound like that person, but like you know, especially with the Eugenia thing at the moment, and I don't think she's nothing like Jake Paul. So like, it's just because I'm sort of dotting around like a fucking pinball machine in my head, like ting ta ting tong ting ta tong. But you know, you've got to take responsibility for your actions at some point, and being known as the nicest person isn't really an excuse for, you know, allowing these things to happen on your platform. And Jake Paul, he doesn't have the whole I'm trying to be nice thing. He just does whatever the fuck he wants. And who the fuck knows what happens on his platforms, actually. I haven't checked. I don't want to. I think it'll be like Pandora's box of doom. If anyone opens that motherfucker, I'll tell you. But it's just yeah, it's just a bit of a I'm just having a lot of thought. I think thoughts about these people at the moment where you're like, what exactly is oh bloody hell, I've been going on for 50 minutes. Um, you know, I think it's a lot like, anyone seen The Dark Knight? Where I think everyone knows this saying, if you have, you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, you know. And I think in a fair portion of people's sort of careers, you are seeing that. There's some people who are just horrible from the get-go, and for some bizarre reason, people like them. And I think it's just because they like seeing people live a life that they think that they potentially could never live themselves. So they're trying to live vicariously through these people. That's why you have people who, you know, are just like following people on Instagram who are just like, I love this guy's car. This guy's destroying expensive stuff. Isn't that cool? Oh, he's counting money now. And you have that. But then there's also people who genuinely, they don't know when to call it quits and to fucking run off into the night with their bag full of gold. Shane Dawson is probably a good example of that. You know, maybe before, because you know, obviously he's doing pretty fucking well for himself. I think before this whole palette, I think the, you know, getting involved with the beauty industry was basically the last nail in his coffin. Because I think, honestly, I think a lot of the time people would have just not even bothered looking back into his past in that instance. I've missed out a bit here, so I've just been babbling. Money truly seems to corrupt people. It does. It does. I mean, it's an old saying, but it absolutely does. There are some people, there's the exception, But the exception proves the rule that exists in the first place. That goes for anything. It's just interesting how some people get cancelled for the smallest things and other people just seem to be invincible or something. It's because they don't fucking care. It's like it's what's that saying? I'm rubber, you're glue, isn't it? It's like, you know, it's like a ping whoop, it goes off. It's just no one cares. If you don't care, then it's not going to bother you. I don't know how half these people aren't in jail. This is true. If it was, you know, if the money wasn't involved and the platforms weren't involved, it was going to be the case, especially with the amount of just all this, you know, yeah, I don't want to really go into the proper dark stuff, but I think you know where I'm going with that. I don't think money really changes people, just frees their inner self. That's a very good point too. That's a very good point too. I think maybe you could also hang around with enough people who are shitty, and that eventually fucks you over if you haven't got your lifelines in check. I'm definitely the villain in everyone's story. Go on, Christina. You always crack me up, man. I don't think anyone can be cancelled without cancelling themselves. Totally true. Totally true. In regards to Eugenia, it doesn't matter how nice she is if her videos are actively encouraging eating disorders. Well, that's the thing. It's a weird one with her, man, because it's like there's clearly something. There's something really not fucking right there. And I've said it so many times, but I feel like I've got to say it every time I talk about this particular aspect of things. I'm not knocking her mental state in the sense of like, ha ha, isn't that funny or anything like that. I'm not using that in any way. I'm just saying, I think we can see the domino effect here. We can see where this is now affecting this. Now it's affecting her business. I say business, but it is a business. So she's making money from it and she's got people working for her and moderating and all of this kind of stuff. And they're supposed to represent her. It's basically a business, isn't it? Let's be fair. You know, just because she does it out of her fucking room doesn't make a difference. It's but then there's this catch of like, would any of this and you know, this everyone be super super nice to each other? It works to an extent, but like the world isn't like that. We can't all just like live sheltered lives and, you know, pretend like la la la. If I'm just nice and everything's nice, it really doesn't work that way. And with that particular subject in general, you probably detected it if you did watch my video. I've sort of become exasperated with that whole situation because at the moment there aren't really many things where I can just sort of, you know, it was easier when Dramageddon was occurring because like sort of the enemy, so to speak, was pretty simple, and you know it was quite easy to just sort of take the piss, I guess. But with that, it's just something else, man. It's something else, but it's something that needed to be talked about. And I don't feel like you know, if I feel like something needs to be talked about, and I have this, you know, I could call it a platform. I guess it's a platform if people are listening to me, but I always sort of downplay it a bit, I guess. But you know, and you're not saying the things that need to be said in your mind, you know, like this is not right and this is why I don't think it's right, and you can say why my opinion is wrong. I don't fucking care. Like that's totally fine, and if it's valid then I'll listen. You know, if it's not just like leave her alone, you're a big meanie, then I will listen to anything other than that. But if it is that where it's like she's so cool and you just need to not be a dickhead, then sorry, it's just I don't agree with that. I'm afraid I don't agree with that. I don't agree with like the fact that she's allowed a place to to come about where there are people taking the piss and they are doing horrible things to people who are like 12, 14. I can't accept it, man. I can't abide it. So yes, this is horrible. This eating disorder and how that has a knock-on effect with mental health, although mental health has a knock-on with the eating disorder, whichever way you want to look at it. I mean, you know, how much wiggle room do you give around that until, you know, it's not just about her own self-destruction anymore. It becomes about other people's destruction or tainting their lives as they go forward into the world. And now they have that forever, and it fucks them up for a really long time. I should have just called this stream exasperation and bitching. But yeah, I'm gonna read some of these because, like, you know, I feel like I'm just going off on a mad one. I don't know how. I don't think money. No, I've read that already. In regards to, oh shit, I've missed a fair bit. Jesus, that's what I get for ranting. Did you see the awkward moment where someone faked being Jacqueline and apologized to her? Yeah, I did. I did see that, and that was fucking weird. For Jacqueline and for her, I watched Jacqueline's video. I watched a lot of Eugenia videos before doing my own video. Just because it was like one of those ones I want to see that I'm, you know, taking in all the points, because even though I'm not one of those channels who's like, here's the receipts, here's all the research and all of this, I just talk about things how I see them. But you know, with something like that, you definitely need to do a fair amount of research from all the different avenues, really. Her response was so weird. Her response was weird because, like, again, she's trying to do that whole thing of like just trying to be obscenely nice the whole time. And one thing I noticed as well, this might come across like I'm dissing, but it is what it is. She hasn't even, like, she's got no muscles in her face. So like when she talks, and it's not just that particular instance, I noticed that for a lot of other things, she barely opens her mouth, man. Like, she is really wasting away. If you watch like Sloane's videos on the you know, SL04N videos on it, he goes into it a fair bit, and it's like, yeah, man, this is fucked up. You know, her parents, man, what the fuck are they doing, man? Don't take my dream world from me. So does that enough for everyone? I like the sunshine and roses of the world. Yeah. Well, shouldn't come to the sarcastic sloth. Cynicism in amongst all of that. I'm so nice demeanor. Her whole "I'm so nice" demeanor comes across as her not wanting, not being open to criticism or treatment or anything that could help her grow. I think that's what it's become for sure. I think at one point, you know, maybe when she was younger, it was that whole thing of, because I've met people like that before where they're just crazily nice, but you just get the piss taken out of you. That's the thing when that happens. And then I think maybe when she went off and she had the whole instance with when they sent her off to be, I think you guys call it 5150, we call it being sectioned, to be monitored. And then when she came out, I think that's when she used it a lot more, because she's obviously holding a lot of, like, well, from her perspective, it's got to be rage because she's not happy with what they did at the end of the day. Christina, you forgot the unicorns. Always remember the unicorns. What the fuck? I do love the unicorns. How old is Eugenia? I think it was 26 when I looked. I'm pretty sure. Well, this is one of the few places I'm not invisible. No, invisible. No one's invisible here, you know, at the end of the day. I'm just, everyone's just here to have a chat, really. And listen to my nonsensical rantings, I guess. I mean, we're coming up to an hour, so I might can it pretty soon. But yeah, it's just it's just a bloody horrible situation with her, really, because no one can just flat out tell her either, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and there's some weirdness going on with her parents, man. They have like this driver who like minds her the whole time and fucking goes around with her all the time to make sure that no one is sort of well, you know, trying to do what Jacqueline did, which was help her, which is just the weirdest thing. You'd think, if like, and I've seen videos of her mum actually. I think there's something not quite right there. there's definitely not something quite right there. If you've got a daughter who's going around in that and you've not gotten her any help, there's something fucked up with you. I think. Like I'm just gonna say it as I see it. Yeah, she's off on one. She's off a rocker. Christina's superpower on Twitter. That's so young. I was in my second year of uni at 26. Well, this is it. I don't know what her experience of the world is. I don't know if it's sort of this weird thing. If I sort of had to guess just from what I've seen, I don't know if it's this weird thing where her parents realize that like, oh, she's making money from just staying in the house, so like, let's not fucking bother, like, doing anything about it. I it's hard because you've got to think, haven't you? Like, I don't know. I'm just going to go around in that particular circle again and again, aren't I? Because it's like I'm trying to use logic where I feel that there is none, and that's something that I say to a lot of people a lot of the time when they're like saying about, when they come to me, because I'm a bit of a psychiatrist with my mates anyway, but they come to me and I'm saying, you're using logic where there is none, mate. Just fucking move on, like get on with it. So I think that's just what we have to do, really. I mean, we obviously get involved when there's things to do with anything to do with kids, minors, anything of that nature, where they're in danger, because that is, I feel that we're sort of obliged. We're not obliged. You see what I'm trying to say? It's our duty to do that. If we see that, and you can't just let that go unchecked. You can't. It's just. It's just fucked, man. It's really fucked. And also, if anyone ever wondered, like when um if I'm talking about something a bit dark and I get exasperated and I smile, that's just because I really don't know how to fucking address it. And if I just did my resting bitch face the whole time, yeah, it would get a bit crazy. She needs to want to help herself. 100%, absolutely. No one can help her if she doesn't want to first. It's just not going to happen, man. Is it? It's just something drastic is going to happen with these kinds of situations. Either they wake up one day and they change their whole mindset, which is rare, which is super rare, or something drastic happens, like some fucking, and I don't wish this on anyone, but like some organs are going to fucking shut down sooner or later because there's no muscle there. There's no muscle, you know. It's just, yeah, it's fucked up. Don't give away my superpowers. Never give away the superpowers. Yes, Lily, that's right. There, she has to want it. She absolutely does. It comes with anything, man. I mean, for me, I've got like a super addictive personality, but then I've also got a thing. I've got a switch in my head where if I don't want to do something anymore, I just won't do it. I used to smoke cigarettes all the time. I used to smoke 2 packs a day back when it used to cost like £2 something. Now, obviously, because we don't grow tobacco in this country, it costs nearly a tenner, £10 to buy a pack of fags, cigarettes. I realize I keep forgetting that basically everyone I know on here and Twitter are basically Canadians and Americans. That's majority of people who watch my videos, a vast majority of people. So it's not the same, but it's like it's an addiction in that way. And they do say that quitting cigarettes is really hard. And don't get me wrong, there's some things that I know I have to stay away from to make me not want to do it. Like my favorite comedian of all time is Bill Hicks. I love Bill Hicks. He's dead now, obviously. If you don't know who he is, go check him out. But he smokes. So if I see people who are smoking and they really enjoy it, that's that can be a bit like, oh, maybe the next time I pop to the shop, I might buy a pack of cigarettes. But I've got that pretty much down now to the point where I don't really, I don't really. Sometimes I do. I'm not going to lie. In quarantine, there's been a couple of times where I've been like, man, I could really do it with a cigarette right about now. But it subsides in an hour. And that's just what it is. If you've got an addictive personality, which I do, and for a bunch of things, it's just it is what it is. You know, you've got to figure that out, and then you've got to put barriers in place so that um you don't go towards that anymore. I'll say it because it's not really a big thing over there. I used to be, I've said this to people that I know on Twitter and they've laughed. I didn't just used to be the stoner. I used to be, no, I didn't used to just be a stoner. I used to be the stoner. Like, you know, people couldn't really fucking keep up with me at one point. I'm not saying that to boast or to say, you know, go out and do it or whatever. I don't think it's a bad thing personally, but, you know, when quarantine started, I stopped doing that. And I realized, oh, hang about, I'm just a lot more productive in general if I don't do that. And, you know, it's a little less hazy too. But it's not like I was addicted to that. I was addicted to the rituals I had around it. Like, so I wake up in the morning and have a go on the vape. And then, you know, you sort of have it at like intermittently throughout the course of the day. Same with cigarettes. I've never had that with drinking myself. Just, yeah, I don't, you know, I'll have a couple of beers and stuff, but last time I had any booze, well, I can actually say really in the last 2 years, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that I've actually gone to a pub or whatever. So yeah, it doesn't have that kind of hold over me. I've never understood how people can wake up first thing and drink whiskey. It's mad. Let's read more of these. Yes, Lily, that is right. Lily, that's the question. Does she want to help herself and is stopped by outside forces, or is she content with how her life is going? I think it might be a mixture of both, really. I think maybe it's been a case that I don't think maybe stopped by outside forces, but she certainly isn't helped by outside forces. I don't know. We're not there. We haven't got CCTV set up, so I can't really say. This is truly just speculation on my part now, but all I know is there's something not fucking right in that house. It can't be. It can't. It's just sorry. That's how I feel. um, it happened to me. I suddenly changed from one day to the other. You all would have hated 19-year-old me. Hey, you know, I think we all were dickheads when we were younger at the end of the day, doing crazy things. And, you know, when you're younger, it's easier to become embroiled in things because you're more fanatical about things in general. You know, you just think about, you know, you take something really mundane, like, you know, I used to be really into, I don't know, so I used to be really obsessed with skateboarding at one point, like to the point where I knew everything about it. I knew every single player in it. I did it all the time. You know, eat, breathe, all these kinds of things. I'm just using a mundane example here because I don't want to get too fucking heavy again. But now I enjoy it, but I'm not as fanatical as I was when I was younger. And I think, you know, in general, unless you have a bit more of a um yeah, you know, just in general, you just tame down in general. So if you've got a fanatical or you've got an addictive personality in the first place, I couldn't smoke 40 cigarettes in a day or more if I went on a night out. Definitely not now. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't mind one. I don't mind one. I don't want one. I'm talking myself into it now. No, we're not having them. It's really hard to quit six. Definitely, especially when you live in a country like Greece. Yeah, no, actually, is it pretty cheap over there too? But I just remember everyone's got a fag on over there, cigarette on. I'm just gonna say it. You're in my stream, fag on. Fuck it. Um, I quit 8 months ago with the help of a vape. I had a vape for a while, but I just sort of felt that they were a bit sketchy myself. I did have one for over a year though, an e-cig pen. It took a long time to help get my mum to stop smoking. It was such a struggle. It's fucking hard. And that's the other thing. If you don't enjoy smoking, then it's really hard for you to fathom why people enjoy it. But here's the thing. I didn't quit because I don't like the taste. I didn't quit because I don't enjoy the fact that it's something for me to do at the bus stop when I'm waiting for a bus, or, you know, I can sort of tune someone out if I happen to be in a bit of a boring conversation with someone out in, you know, when you're working or whatever. Um, you can like roll a cigarette and all of that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, it just becomes it becomes a part of your routine. It becomes a part of your personality, I dare say. So that coupled with the nicotine withdrawal, which is definitely manageable, you can absolutely manage it. I've done so. You know, it's not. I've got quit smoking a few times, but it's yeah, it's the longest that I've gone without it. Um, yeah, it's definitely absolutely 100% manageable, but it's wanting to. Um, as with the Eugenia thing, Germany still has cigarette commercials. Like, that's mad. Really? What? I did not know that. I thought you guys were supposed to be really fucking sensible over there. No, I'm joking. No, it's yeah, it's just in Europe in general. Yeah, France. Fuck me, man. Like smoke like no one's business. I think most countries here in Europe, yeah, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like I say, I think in general it is just a massive thing. Like over here, they've just campaigned against it because I feel like that's probably because of the impact that has on the NHS. Because I don't think it's because they really give a fuck about people, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I think most countries. Oh yeah, I read that already. Yeah, my aunt told me how cheap cigarettes are in Greece. I didn't realize. Although when I went there, yeah, no, they were pretty cheap, to be fair. No cigarette commercials in the UK. No, no. They used to be on billboards everywhere. Lambert and Butler, I remember them, especially up north where my folks are from. Not that cheap anymore. They are about $8, $9 a pack. Fucking hell. Well, you know, it's probably a good thing. So like I said, at one point, I used to be able to buy for this has become like the smoking chat, hasn't it? I used to be able to buy 40 for a fiver, basically, so £5, which is now. Uh, oh Jesus, fuck! I've really not been keeping up. I have so much fucking alcohol in my house, it's crazy. I never touch it. It's the weirdest thing. It is actually quite weird how that works out. But do you drink wine? That's the thing. It's like my parents do that. They drink a lot of wine, but the spirits don't get touched. It's like we'll save that for like a occasion when we have people over, but we don't fucking like anyone enough to have them over. So, you know, and when my sister and her family come over, there's no one's drinking because there's a baby involved and two dogs. So we've got three dogs, two babies, and like all sorts of maniacalness going on. I also have an addictive personality. All of my friends in various circles have basically elected me as the friend who drives home. Good friends, definitely. It's yeah. Well, when when you know you've got one, you know you've got one at the end of the day. Because I basically also just got told straight away because when I started smoking, within 2 weeks, my mate was like, "Isn't it funny how you started smoking 2 weeks ago, and now you smoke like a chimney, like literally smoking 2 packs a day?" It's stupid, but whatever. It is what it is. It happens. So there we go. I mean, never is a strong word, but hardly ever. Yeah, yeah. Don't go crazy, Christina. What are you doing? Is it the aesthetic, Christina? Yeah, yeah. Have you got one of those bars where they're all just like behind you? Alcohol comes in nice bottles. It does. Nah, here it's about €8 a tobacco pack. Oh, well, for rolling tobacco, that's not bad. Well, actually, no, it's pretty bad. It depends on how many grams. My family members got drunk so bad that they had a fist fight at my oldest brother's graduation party. Bloody hell. I ended up banning alcohol at my graduation party because of what they did at my brother's. Well, yeah, I think that's a very fucking sensible idea, Will and that's ridiculous. I don't know. Yeah, that's bad. I feel for you there, really, because that's supposed to be like a nice event, and yeah, you just no one needs that in their life. You don't need that in your life anyway, but yeah. I don't know. I used to love to have a glass of wine or a glass of vodka. I just don't reach for it anymore. I probably should. Maybe I'd sleep better. Maybe. I think everyone's sleep is a bit wacky during the quarantine anyway. I mean, if it's before that you're talking about, then fair enough. But yeah, I actually like the taste. Yeah, I'll drink some beer, but not really that into spirits to be honest. And wine, like I quit for 2 years when I lived in the UK, and then I moved back to Greece. Mother of Lords, well, you quit when you came to the UK smoking. Wow, that's it probably says a lot, really, doesn't it? It has decreased here, but then I've noticed there's a lot of people with vape pens. So mostly in the cities. You did the right thing, Women. Yep, absolutely. Interesting. I think it's like $8 or more for a pack here in the US. Is it? It used to be dirt cheap, man. It used to be really fucking crazy how cheap it was actually at one point, not that long ago. You can also legally drink beer and wine at 16, and the age of consent is technically 14 here. So fair enough. Enough said, really. Um, hmm, I'm confused on that. Okay. Right. So yeah, I think it's hour and a quarter, pretty much what we did last time. So I'm going to call it a night. It's late, but I've enjoyed speaking to all you guys. I really have. I think I'll do two of these a week. I'll maybe do one on Monday, one on the Friday. I did say that last time, but I'm a sloth at the end of the day. But you got to you got to take it as it comes. So have a good night, everyone. I hope you stay safe out there. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. Really enjoyed it.